So I recently joined TikTok and I was kind of excited because for the first time in years, it seemed like people were actually seeing my content. I'm so used to shadow banning, demonetization, age restrictions, and sensitive content flags, particularly on YouTube, that TikTok felt kinda nice. A few videos actually got some reach. I know it's in part probably artificial reach, but I'll take that over artificial suppression any day. I recently uploaded a clip from a video I made earlier this year that was,
wait for it,
demonetized on YouTube, of course. It breaks down that despite the government of California's strict gun laws, which pro-gun control advocates widely praise, the state, by law, grants cops special exemptions and allows them to possess guns that are banned for the rest of us. That's police. You know, the class of people millions of people on the left were protesting last year because they commit rampant, unjust violence. You know, the people that often get away with assaulting, raping, and killing unarmed people, often over non-violent, often victimless offenses. The demonetized clip also discusses how mass shootings still occur in California despite all the gun control, and mentions that the state's previous attorney general under Newsom, now Biden's director of Health and Human Services, hid data on both police misconduct and gun violence. And true to TikTok form, it started getting pretty good reach and engagement, more so than anything I've posted thus far, but also pretty quickly, it got slapped with a sensitive content warning, likely because somebody snitched, and it was promptly throttled as the reach froze. Now, it's not that the content isn't sensitive, according to most big tech platforms. It features video examples of police brutalizing people, and that's undoubtedly disturbing, to quote TikTok and other platforms. Yet these powerful institutions, big tech, big corporate media, and of course government agencies and politicians constantly promote the alleged morality and superiority of democracy and government in general, but deem the actual mechanism through which democracy and all other forms of government are enforced and retain authority, that would be literal violence or the threat of it, too sensitive for people to handle. Don't worry, I'm not going to show anything too sensitive here. I wouldn't want to disturb anyone with the realities of what the police and military do in their name in service of the magic of democracy, but I am just so tired of being censored and throttled for pointing out that underneath all the flowery, inspirational language and messaging about the great virtues of voting and elections and democracy and representation is the barrel of a gun. And this isn't just my opinion, it's objective reality. It's how laws are enforced in all forms of government. See, law enforcement. If the information gatekeepers and those who report content like mine to them believe people are too sensitive to view, without censors and trigger warnings, so to speak, the inherently violent nature of democracy and government, as well as the consequences, whether brutality by law enforcement at home or abusive military escapades abroad, or the behavior of all governments around the world in service of the ruling class, or the invariable corruption and deceit that also come along with violent authority, even when there's a nice piece of paper intended to keep it in check and you insist it's a republic, not a democracy, why do they keep promoting the legitimacy of the systems themselves? If the true realities of state authority are distressing and upsetting to viewers and they must be given a warning, why in the actual is content promoting the system itself a-okay? Why is content promoting peace and non-violence? No special privileges for anyone just because they're wearing a badge. Inappropriate. Why does society at large program the righteousness of this system into the minds of children and adults alike, who then believe it's moral to send men with guns and badges and uniforms to commit violence they wouldn't commit themselves, to enforce every single policy they believe is justified by virtue of the fact that people voted for lawmakers to write them? I would love to know. And if you're not too sensitive or distressed by reality, head over to my TikTok or YouTube to see what's so offensive before they censor it for your safety.